Yeah. So
So
he just
I sent him home yesterday early, Anthony. I said, Ant, tell him to bring the fucking truck back. So Ant called him, told him to come back. He parked his truck, left it unlocked, left the windows down. You know, complete fucking jerk.
that's too bad. What do we have for a backup plan? You said you're gonna reach back out to uh what's his face?
Chris is available at the end of the month, but Efren's taken over Aeration overseeding, and today, for example, he's got $4,000 worth of work on. We don't need Jack, man.
Yeah, I bet he'll do. I'm sure Efren will do a good job and he'll hustle through it. And then we'll have some real times. We know we definitely shouldn't base our pricing on how fast Efren does it.
Yeah,
because then we're just setting ourselves up for failure if we were to use the times that the Efren got it done in, because he's a freaking beast.
Well, I'll be honest. Efren does a good job. He normally uses all the time that's set aside. Jack, on the other hand, half-asses things, doesn't cuts corners, gets things done quickly, and then gets complaints.
No, I'm saying that Efren, he's going to hustle through the aeration overseeding, but when we quote for next year based on the times, we're probably going to inflate Efren's time, because Efren's not going to be doing it every time. You know what I mean? Because we'd be pricing everyone based on the best case scenario.
Efren uses all the time required. Jack wasn't, so I would rather go with Efren.
Okay. Cool. So, anything you want to talk about, or should I jump into the notes first, or the worksheet first?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Okay. I guess we can talk about it again. I was going to make a card for it, but how do you feel about doing that billboard in the springtime?
Sounds good, man.
I doubt they have availability, because every business wants a spring, right?
We should probably I don't know if it needs to be service specific, but maybe just mowing's big in the spring, lawn renovation is big in the spring cleanups, maybe have bullet points with those 3 services on it. Just a thought.
Yeah. But my gut tells me that the performance we're having in Facebook ads right now, we're getting so many leads, and it just tells me that people, there's no way you can't see that billboard. You know what I mean? So people may not be reporting. Actually, I'm not even sure if I set that up as a lead source. Have you seen any billboard leads?
You did, but I haven't seen any come in.
Okay, yeah. So because I don't think people necessarily, well, first of all, we probably have too many choices there. It probably overwhelms people. But I think that people, they definitely see it, and then they see that, and they're seeing the ads now. So we have both those broadcast approaches going. People see the billboard, you can't not see it. And then they're on their social media and they see it again. It's one of those things. I definitely think it adds. There's no way it's not bringing our name to attention, and also just demands higher prices. People are going to expect you to be expensive when you have a freaking billboard.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll make a note for that, but I think that'd be cool to do that again.
Honestly, man, people are telling me what other people are quoting them. It's money grab season right now for landscapers, and I can guarantee you, nobody's as busy as we are because of our advertising. So these guys are trying to get $1,000 for a job that we're quoting for, say, $400 or $500. So it's money grab. We're overwhelmed with work. We don't need to charge $1,000 for an 8,000 square foot lawn. So people, and one guy, he got a quote for $8,000 to go rip up his entire lawn, which he didn't need. And I sent him a quote for aeration overseeding for $500-$600. But it's just money grab season, man. And landscapers are completely out of control with what they're trying to charge people. One guy sod installation, he got a quote for $8,500. I quoted him $3,500. Naturally, he went with us.
Yeah, and also we have the machinery that they don't have. Like that ride-on aerator. We're going to get it done a lot faster.
It flies right through.
Yeah. If that breaks, by the way, I know it's a new machine, but what do we have? We just have the walk behind?
We have the manual one, yeah. Okay. And we can always rent one if we have to.
Yeah, true. Well, assuming it's not already rented, because everyone wants it right now.
Yeah.
So we got this random deposit. I'm not complaining, and they can send us all the money they want, but it's for $7,000 and change. And I don't know, and me and Aeration don't know what it's for. I told her to look into it. It's some payroll, payment processing system.
How did it get in our account? Was it a check? I don't recall any checks. It must have been a direct deposit.
Oh, it's a direct deposit from this PayRock.
What is PayRock?
I don't know, but like they're welcome to send us all the money they want.
Not if it's a mistake, and then we count on the money being there, and then we overdraft the
Yeah,
account.
no, that's true. Well, I don't. And then the other big deposit we got was from, I believe it's for your truck repair. We're gonna have to pay back out. So I don't want to be thinking we have this money if we don't.
We should put it in job deposits and just keep it there.
Oh yeah, for the truck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's this random PayRock. So Reese's gonna look into this. I don't know what that's for. And then we also
It's
got.
been 2 days. Nobody's looked into PayRock yet. It's been 3 days.
I told. Well, yeah, I asked you about. I told her yesterday to look into it.
Okay.
I'll create a card for her just so I can follow up on that. And then, so this truck deposit, 49.23.97 truck. We'll set that aside because that's going towards getting the truck fixed, right?
Yep.
Although it's suggesting we're probably too busy to deal with it and you're dropped off the truck anyway. So I guess I'm going to talk about maybe for just to mention for next time.
Mm-hmm.
We could have kept this, sold the truck, we probably would have lost I don't know, a grand or two of value on it for having that dent. Like no one really cares. It's a truck, We wouldn't have lost this much in value. That was my point. So you could have sold the truck, but we don't have the time for that. So
No, we don't have time. I just bought the truck, man.
yeah, exactly. But
I see your reason.
See my point. Yeah, I was just making that point. So I'm trying not to bother you with this, but the same token, anyway, we didn't budget for $220 a month for the dumpster. It's a small number, but there's several accounts that we're going over, so I'm just bringing it to your attention. But we budgeted $110 a month. Plus, we have an extra 1,000 buffer there just for other stuff if we need it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now, it's just kind of we switched it over to the twice a month, and who's really keeping track of that? And who really cares? That's the problem because we spent $421 in the dumpster last month, and we're only budgeting 110. So just a little thing, but and I asked Arish here. Or I asked Melissa, so she's looking into it, but I don't think we need it like that often. I don't know. I actually don't know, but we haven't in the past. I know why this year all of a sudden we need double the capacity. I also suggested we might want to we could get a bigger one and get it dumped less frequently.
She said we can't get a bigger one.
Oh, we can't. Okay, we'll ask her to check into that.
I don't know what the hang up is on that. She's like all confused by it. She doesn't know what to do. I talked to her yesterday.
Yeah. All right. Well, I won't waste our time on it.
Okay.
AAA 125. You know what that was?
Yeah. Locked my keys in the truck the other day.
Why do we have to pay for that? We have AAA.
Exactly. So we have the Plus plan. I'm an associate, quote, associate on the account, and I've already had my 2 free roadside services. So anything moving forward is going to be billed. So, I let them know, well, there's really not much benefit to be on the Plus plan if I have to pay for every roadside assistance I need, especially if they're going to come here and spend 5 minutes to get my truck.
Yeah. And also, I used it the other day for Ashley's car, and then they came without a tow truck. They came back, then I had to make a second call to have them come back with a tow truck and count as 2 calls. Bring the tow truck the first time. So,
right.
All right. Well, yeah, that's your associate. All right, I'll look into that.
Okay.
I mentioned this to you. I thought this was pretty cool though, but I threw in the past 3 years. I threw another year after you after I sent it to you. I had 24 and 25. I uploaded 23. Yeah. So revenue wise, 1 million 2023, 1.17 2024, and it's saying we're on track for 1.25 this year. And just to reiterate here,
that's disheartening.
Yeah, sales 1.5 to 2, so we're clearly falling a little short there. But I care more about the profit than I do about how much revenue we're doing because we can do all the revenue we want. Are we happier if we do 2 million sales and 0 profit?
No. Pointless.
2023, we had a 50. So gross margin. This is what's left over after we pay the guys and job supplies, right? So we the bigger the better. So we had 58% margin in 2023. So we had good charge rates. That means, right? 2024 went down. We obviously labor was out of control. This is when we started doing the bonuses halfway through the season. And then this year we have the best margin. We have the best margin of the past 3 years.
What do you think accounts for that? Low overhead? COGS?
So it has nothing to do with overhead. This is just what's left over after labor. It means that the difference you're charging or we're paying the guys, and this is what's left over. So it's reflecting our charge rates per hour. It's not reflecting our overhead. So our charge rates are the highest they've been. year to date.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And that's what we've been seeing too, right? On our
I'm
weekly
sorry?
audit. That's what we've been seeing in our weekly audit.
Yes. Yep. It's in line.
So here we are. Now here's the overhead, right? 39% overhead 2023. 2024 overhead was out of control. We had all the equipment repairs, the garage stuff that was so high, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And we just weren't tracking anything. Here it's still 47%. So we added on Anthony, 80 grand a year, right? Added an overhead, but our sales aren't where they're supposed to be. So really our overhead, we're not really out of line. We've kept track of our overhead, but we're not getting the revenue that we budgeted for this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's still the same overhead. Their overhead's still the same percentage of the revenue because our revenue didn't go up like it was supposed to, but we're following the overhead plan, but it's not following the revenue plan this year.
But I think we can attribute that to the lack of marketing because it was we made a point to not spend money on marketing, to try to upsell existing clients. And we know that we don't get nearly as many leads and work if we don't market.
Yep, and it made that point because I uploaded our budget too, and it made that point. It was like you still have room left to market, right? So that's what we're doing now. So anyway, in 2023, we obviously had a good margin. So this is before. It's this final net income. This is like the other stuff he had to the bottom of the sheet. It gets added to like the net profit on the P&L. I don't have it in front of me, but it's like the grants we're getting, just like miscellaneous expenses. I don't know why they really fall. They go below. They get added afterwards. But this is, you might as well be looking at these numbers here down here. Final net income. So 10% in 2023. Last year, obviously marginal, right? We knew that. And then this year, it's saying we're on track for 100 in here. That's where this is what's forecasting out for us. And right now we're 8%.
Right.
Strongest year. So saying lean overhead, 10%. Revenue grew, but overhead ballooned. We knew that. 2023 is recovering. Gross margin best yet, meaning you fixed your job costing labor efficiency. So our guys, we know that we're super efficient. We got good equipment too as part of that, right? Getting the trucks fueled. Overhead. So GBT was just suggesting cutting our overhead, but then I suggested why don't we increase our sales? Yeah. So I thought I'd just show you that. It's just interesting to throw it all in the GPT and have its interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's run through last week, let's run through this. So debt wise, 28 down to 26, but we're putting money into RBS, right? Oh, sorry, it's the same as last week. We didn't put any money into RBS. We actually did make a $2,000 gain. But what I noticed is, I'm like I keep saying, and I'm looking forward to doing this, what I keep mentioning, I want to completely separate the two so they're not intertwined. It's just making things confusing. There was a benefit to that previously. There's not anymore. So I'm going to fix that. But I wanted to point out, like, between my payroll and your payroll, we're drafting $5,500 a month from RBS. And given that most of our time is being spent $855, this isn't warranted, So really this is kind of like an $855 expense because very little of this is time we're putting into RBS, right? So it's looking like RBS is sinking, but really we're drafting a huge amount of payroll from there without a lot of work in there. You know what I mean? Without a lot of revenue coming in. So really this is kind of an $855 expense that should have been budgeted really, like for our payroll, because our payroll and the overhead is lower because some of it's coming from RBS. So that's really what's happening. I wanted to point that out, that a lot of our payroll is coming from there. Because we used to put more time into that, and it was based on our amount of time we're putting in.
But isn't 855 paying for the hours that I work for them to RBS?
Some of your payroll is coming from 855, and some of it's then we have a transfer from RBS to cover the remaining portion.
I thought 855 was paying me an hourly rate to RBS.
Yeah, but then Sean breaks it out each month to separate it between RBS and he adjusts it. So yeah, your payroll is actually coming from 855, but it's subsidized by RBS. Which doesn't have the funds to subsidize it right now as it's going on. And then the majority, because I put more time to RBS than you do, but we're not getting on an annual basis, but the revenue is not there to cover that. So I'm just saying that a lot of our payroll is coming from RBS. So we should have put all of our payroll in the overhead budget for 855. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Anyway, we did make $2,000 of traction here, regardless, because this didn't change from the week prior. So we did make $2,000 of traction.
We're having some good weeks, man. We should be seeing more than a $2,000 decrease. I feel like in debt.
So do you think last week was a good week?
It felt like a good week, yes.
Okay. Job supplies, Target, we got nailed with $3,000. That's for seeding that we're paying in advance, right?
Yep.
So we have a very aggressive September, right? So we're 21 grand short on revenue. Hours, we're about 200 hours short.
Man,
and then
we really flubbed that, dude.
Yeah. Well, we based on last year, I don't think it's increased that much. We can check, but I don't think we increased the hours that much more. Or we made a plan based on the number of guys we had. Yeah, we don't have the work, is what it is, right? Who's not getting the hours?
Combination of both. We don't have 13 guys or 14 guys,
right?
And everybody's essentially working as much as they can.
Well, yeah, 336 hours they worked. Total hours, yeah, 336 hours, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. So that's 36 hours or 33.6 hours a week average. And they could work up to like 50, right? So there's definitely, I mean, we could hit those hours with the guys we have now. And the guys can work more hours as of last week.
Yep.
So then we were also $8 short on the charge rate.
Unreal.
Interestingly, Blue Crew. So remind me, Blue Crew. That's the 2 Hispanic crew, right? 2 Hispanic guy crew.
Yep.
So they beat budget hours by about 10, right? By 11 hours. They got $88 an hour. But Green and Maroon fell off. They still beat their budget hours a little bit. I think the grass is starting to grow again. And are these solo crews or are these 2-guy crews?
Randy is Green, and Maroon is Necky.
Okay. Oh, and Necky's working by himself. Necky beat Randy. Craziness. But both their charge rates dropped, and I think Blue stayed about the same. Let's see. Blue stayed the same. Green dropped $6 an hour, and Maroon dropped $5 an hour. Interesting. Any thoughts on why?
The grass is growing more.
But why Blue Crew still hit it? They stayed consistent. These guys didn't.
Maybe they're 2 guys moving faster than 1 guy. Taller grass.
Yeah, well, I mean, on paper, the 2-man crew is supposed to get a higher charge rate.
Yeah.
We got to adjust that too because now the trucks are getting fueled, so we'll adjust that for next year. But anyway, I mean, there's still much better charge rates we've been getting for mowing, like ever. So, just interesting.
Guess we can't complain too much, right?
Yeah, just interesting that Blue remained consistent and these guys dropped by $5 an hour, $6 an hour.
Yep.
So if we were to take out, so we did get nailed pretty good with job supplies. Orange got almost $200 an hour without job supplies. I think this is one of their higher weeks. How much seeding did he do last week?
Quite a bit, man. You can look at his dispatch board for a definite.
Yeah. And was he seeding the week before? So this is the last day of August through the first week of September.
Nope, he just started September 2nd.
September 2nd. Okay, so it's a couple days. So it's half a week of seeding.
Yep. Actually, no. He worked 5 days last week.
197. Yeah, so he definitely is getting higher. I mean, he got a good rate back whenever this was, beginning of August. So we're getting a higher rate than and we had a couple high rates in here. So we're getting one of our higher rates, right? Without the job supplies on here. Red 84, silver 76. Silver always remains about, he's very consistent, 76, and then red's at 84. Red. Yeah, so red's been pretty consistent as well. Falls about within their average, and silver, it's including all these zeros in here too, though. So, oops. But yeah, I mean, Kevin's been about following his average rate, right? 77, 76 this week. So that's where we're at. If we knocked off this job supplies, we're at 101, so we should be able to hit that rate, right? I mean, without job supplies, presumably we have enough seed to get through this next week. But yeah, more work, right? More hours.
Yep.
Um,
The only problem with trying to get more work, man, is when we say more, it creates less for me in pretty much every area of my life. So I understand the trade-off and the sacrifice. We keep marketing, that's great, man, but like, 13-hour days, dealing with a bunch of idiots, fighting with people, dropping people, it's just overwhelming. So, I mean, naturally we need the business. I'm willing to sacrifice for it, but I'm just warning you, like, the more mentality just creates a lot of problems for me in my life.
So if we can't get anyone else to do what you're doing, if we don't have anyone else to lower your workload, then the other option is cutting overhead, right?
Yeah. The big problem is Anthony, really. I mean, if we didn't have him, because I can do his job, but then again, that's more stress and responsibility on my part. So we're paying $80,000 a year to make my life easier, which makes sense. I mean, owners and general managers don't want to be doing everything, and essentially that's what I was doing prior to Anthony, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a trade-off. It's a sacrifice. I'm sacrificing my personal life and my time and my mental, my mental health, physical health for profit. So that's the trade-off, and I get it, and I'm willing to do that, but it comes with consequences, is my point.
Yeah, well, so maybe we should set a point where, I mean, we have like the juicy months remaining of the season. I mean, we could just leave everything be and see where we land, or we can be proactive about it, protect the profit, but they might be might be short-term gain for, like, it's backwards moving in some ways if we get rid of certain things. You know what I mean? So, like, if we got rid of Anthony, then we start saving money immediately, and our charge rates drop. They drop by like $8 an hour, because basically, each $10,000 is about a dollar an hour. So it'd save us. It'd knock off, well, and or it would add it to our profit, but our numbers would drop a little bit too, right? So maybe at some point we should make that decision. Like, would you prefer to ride out this season and do the best we can and see where we land, and then readjust for next year, or would you rather take action at some point, whether it's now or later, to kind of correct to protect our profit for this year, or would you rather hang on to what we got and analyze it next year?
Yeah, that's a better approach. I don't see us letting Anthony go anytime soon. He's got a baby on the way. He's pretty well established. He continues to improve. I do trust him. He's reliable. He's got all these good qualities. I'm just not feeling like we're getting the ROI on what we're spending for paying him. But my life is easier because of it. That's what this is about, really.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, and he's having a baby, and I sympathize with it, but also, like, we need to protect the business too, our baby.
I agree.
Yeah, we just need to decide, and also he's also protecting. You're busy. You have too much work now, right? But he should be trimming your workload. Is the idea. If you're not working, if you're not saving time, and we're not doing more revenue, then he's not worth his cost. And it's not the only thing we can cut, but
You're right.
it is a big number there. And if it's not anything, it's not adding value, we should get rid of, right?
I would be
Any
happy.
cost.
I would be happy with Anthony if he generated more leads through marketing, right? That
Yeah.
at least we'd be seeing some money coming through his efforts.
Yeah.
As of right now, we're not really seeing that. He's just an overhead expense. He's had a couple of leads, but nothing to speak of. So I'd like to try to figure out a way to make him more lead producing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure how. He's putting out door hangers every day, yard signs every day. He's grabbed a couple of leads, but for the most part, he's just an overhead expense, a very big one.
Is he like gathering? But you said he does go to properties and gather information that enables you to have more time, right? If he spends an hour driving to the houses that you're not doing that means you should be able to sell more with the same amount of time if you don't have to go to these properties.
I wouldn't be able to handle this job this year without Anthony.
Yeah.
It's too much. Naturally,
Yeah.
as the business grows, you reach $1 million plus $1 million, you need to hire a production manager. I wouldn't be able to handle working 15 hours a day, 5 or 6, 7 days a week, which is what I'm still doing anyway. So there'd just be this heap of extra work on my plate that I just wouldn't be able to get to.
Yeah. But the other option is I'm just throwing it out there that we can get rid of Anthony and just do less work.
Yeah.
And then you have the same workload, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is that the additional work that we're generating isn't covering that financially.
That's right. Exactly.
Because we're not getting more work out of it. So then it's like kind of like this idea of we have sorry, lost my train of thought.
That's fine. I have a thought.
Yeah.
So Anthony's been running these property inspections all year long, and he leaves door hangers, and he was leaving those really shitty, bland door hangers, which, if I came home, I'd probably be like, what the fuck is this? Right? No personalization whatsoever, minimal wording, not persuasive at all, right? To call. I'm like, would you call if you got a door hanger like this? He's like, no. So we're doing these property inspections. They keep him busy for 3 weeks or 4 weeks out of the month, but we get zero return and phone calls on those. They're a complete waste of fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
So I've got Anthony driving around, dude. He's going to Duncan. He's looking at the farm fields, the deer in the fields, like I am now, and he's, it's no secret why he's so comfortable, man. Like I'd be comfortable driving 40% of my day too. Like you can't beat that.
Yeah.
But we get zero return on those property inspections.
So we axed those in-person consultations. We got rid of them just for the sake of time. But like, it's easiest to sell in person, right? When you have a relationship.
We do the annual consultations, but nobody responds. Maybe like 10% of package clients sign up for those. And we email them, we text them, we call them, and they're a complete waste of time then.
It's got to at least help with retention, like having that relationship and FaceTime. People have the opportunity you can address their concerns before they leave. If we weren't doing those, we probably wouldn't hang on to as many customers because we have some in-person, Anthony has a relationship with them, presumably, right?
The best clients are the ones we never hear from, man. The best clients are the ones we never hear from, dude. All right? No complaints, no problems, no phone calls, no questions. Those are the best clients. So honestly, I don't want to hear from people. I don't care what their thoughts are, man. If there's a problem, they'll let me know, or they'll cancel.
Yeah.
That's a hard fact, man.
Yeah. Well, so do you want to ride out this year and see where we land and then readjust for next year? Like keep following our plan and do the best we can?
I do.
Okay. That's kind of what I feel too. Because we can always readjust and we reevaluate. And rather than making abrupt changes now, we can just reevaluate. And I do think that Anthony's got to have some. We have pressure from his costs trying to make it worth it to us. He should also have some pressure, like you're talking about not getting enough leads. Like how many leads should he be getting to keep his job, to make him worthwhile?
Three per week minimum, and he hasn't generated 3 leads per week minimum since I put that action plan in place.
Right. Okay. And is he still getting bonus based off of that?
He's not. His bonus comes solely from the performance of the guys, the crews.
Okay, we'll probably want to tie that together for next year, you know, because that's
Yeah,
part of it too, right?
sure is, man.
Yeah.
If he's
And
getting
have the
bonus
skill set-
for what the other guys are sure to do, there's no incentive for him to work harder.
Does he have the skill set? Yeah, right. As long as the guys, because he doesn't have any incentive for sales, right? It's like the guys aren't getting complaints, and the guys are under budget hours, and he gets his bonus, right? But that's
Yeah,
nothing in there is incentivizing him to grow the revenue, which we need too, right?
correct.
So great, we're getting high charge rates. Probably like we're incentivizing this, right? We're incentivizing getting good charge rates, which we've had the biggest margin we've had since 20, the past 3 years. It's our highest charge rate. So he is succeeding at that, or we are. However, that's happening. Everything combined, he's succeeding at the guys getting high charge rates. It's all callbacks, efficiency. Not forgetting things. It's all included in this charge rate. However, he has no incentive for the hours, right? Like
Right.
how many hours we hit each week. Like he has no incentive to bump that up. And if we have the high charge rate and we don't have the hours to go with it, we know what happens, right? So he has no incentive here. He doesn't have a care in the world to get more work, to get more hours in, right? And that we're bonusing based off of that, without including this portion, which is just as important as this part, right?
Totally.
All right. So yeah, with 22 versus 34, we're 12 short for what we budgeted this month. So we definitely had an aggressive plan for this month. It's really hard, you're saying we fluffed that, we made it really big. We based on last year, but every year is different, like depending on the economy, like how much work we book and how many hours. I mean, there's a lot of guessing here to forecast an entire year out how things are going to go, especially given how variable. If we get the business, the more consistent it is, the better we can forecast. Which is we're getting very consistent, right? We're keeping our guys around. We have good equipment. Like the more consistent we can get it, the more accurately we can forecast and estimate things and plan. When it's like chaos, you don't know what's going to happen next year, right? But when we have like a consistent, stable, that's what I was looking for. Like when we have a stable business, and we know what to expect. It's much easier to plan. Which I think we are definitely getting there.
You're right. And having a production manager and then getting rid of him next year will create inconsistency. Right now, we got to factor in, well, we don't have him. And plus, we keep buying shit, right? So we hired Anthony this year. We bought 2 new trucks or 3 new trucks or whatever. We spent a ton of money, man.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, and I've seen the business growth cycles and stuff, there's generally flatline years, right? And I don't know if you've seen the Mike Andes little circle. I've showed you it before if you've paid attention to it, but how it's always a problem, not enough sales, and then you put money into marketing, and then you make money, it's always a circle of problems. So you're always gonna have some challenge that you're working towards.
Totally.
So generally speaking, businesses have their growth years, which looks like it was 23 for us, and then you put it into overhead and then reinvest, and it's kind of like a flat line, and then you go up again. It's that's just the way it goes. But the less variables we have, we can't control the variable of the economy. We have no idea. But internally we can control variables there. And the less variables we have, the easier it is to forecast. More accurately we can forecast. More accurately we know what to expect.
I think our biggest downfall for revenue is that we don't do high revenue producing projects. And it's a double-edged sword. Thank God, because tons of issues, tons of equipment, tons of guys, tons of problems, tons of back and forth, complaints, right? Not something I want to be involved in. And plus, we don't have the heavy equipment to do that. So I'm really not interested in doing it. But the reason why companies like Newcastle are doing $12 million is because they're building patios and fireplaces and water features. But that comes with a whole division that we're probably not capable of. We don't even have the space for it here, let alone the manpower. Yeah. So we need to really find a way. And honestly, man, I think the key is to eliminate all that overhead and expense, and really just focus on lawn care and high value work with one guy in a truck. All right. If we could just ditch projects altogether and just focus on that and build a company and fire half our workforce and have 5 guys fertilizing and aerating all year long and doing mosquito treatments, we'd be successful. But we drop our revenue by half.
Like True Green.
Like True Green. Yeah, exactly. They're not doing projects, man. And they're great for money. Yeah, we make $500,000 a year on projects or whatever. but it comes at a cost, right? I
I
could be
mean, that
selling
might
a
not
ton
be
of
a
lawn care.
horrible plan because I mean, then we can cut our overhead way down if we don't need all the other stuff, right? And yeah, we do
Hey
half the
guys,
revenue. But we could write up a budget and see what it looks like, you know. And we know what our lawn care is for, or what our revenue is for lawn care, you know, and that we can look that up and be like, all right, we can expect to have this much lawn care, and then we can rebuild the business plan based off of that.
I suggested this 2 years ago, and I know it was far-fetched then, but we're approaching the point where it's becoming, I think, more of a reality. It's easier. There's less problems, less manpower, less management, less equipment, less everything at a higher value charge rate for the work we're doing.
But
So
we
we do
need
lawn
to.
mowing, we do lawn care, and lawn renovation, and mosquito and tick.
Lawn mowing. So we would hack off. We'd lose a lot of. So what you're saying? Do lawn mowing, which is these three, right? And then lawn care.
And lawn care, and mosquito and tick.
So you're saying just get rid of gardening and projects.
Exactly. Shit work, man.
Yeah. So I mean, we'd lose. I thought gardening was easy because it's recurring, and the guy he just keep going back.
It comes with a ton of problems. People complain, dude. It's a low charge rate. It's like I don't care about flowers.
Yeah. Could we get more? I don't care about flowers either.
We market gardening aggressively, and it's just something that doesn't grow, right? People expect you to go there once and weed, and they'll never see a weed again. It's like the craziest thing.
Oops,
So
I just
people
got
are
it wrong.
hesitant to get more gardening hours because it's a high charge rate. You know, they don't value the work. We charge $105. People feel like it should be done for like $50 an hour. You know, which some people do. I get it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to sell, and it's got a low charge rate at the end, right? Kevin's only pulling in what, $79 an
Yeah. I
hour.
was trying to. I don't know why this math is not. Why is that not? Oh, it's a percentage, right? So yeah, we'd lose if we shaved off the project or just this past week. But usually Red Crew is doing double that, right? So yeah, you're right. We do about half the volume.
But we'd
We
have
probably
much greater profit for half the problems. And we
Yeah,
put
I
all of our
mean,
eggs
well,
in a basket,
Red's
and
been
we
the
sell
highest.
lawn care.
Well, Red's been making the most profit, I would say, just because they're doing more volume too.
I agree, but what are we
Um,
paying Efren and Javier? It must be like $100,000.
plus the whole H2B program costs like 15 grand.
There you go, man.
Yeah. Well, we can treat this winter. We can try rewriting it and see what it looks like, and what overhead we could afford, um, if we were doing half the revenue. Right.
Yeah, I'd
We'd
love
have
to
a
look
whole
at that.
job of selling shit because we'd have to get rid of all of our. I mean, can you really do? You can do lawn mowing without fall cleanups, I guess you can,
You
but
can.
most people are gonna want. If we were to tell our existing clients, "Hey, we don't do fall cleanups anymore," they're gonna find someone who does both, and then they're gonna use that guy because these people don't want to have one guy that mows the lawn and one guy does the leaves.
Well, maybe we can do cleanups, man. It's not project-based
Yeah.
work. We're set up
It
for
was a
it.
lawn
And
mowing crew doing we're done mowing. Like it shaves off the season when we don't do that when we do cleanups.
yeah, and you know what? A cleanup is almost like lawn care, man, because if you leave leaves on the lawn, it's going to suppress it and kill it.
Mm.
So it almost seems like it's sort of like enveloped in the lawn care department.
So you're suggesting just projects?
And
Start
gardening.
getting rid of projects and gardening and do
And
everything else.
focus on lawn and just lawns, not brush clearing, not
Yeah,
planting,
yeah,
mulch. I know mulch is easy,
yeah,
but it comes at a heavy cost, man. You're gonna go pick up the
yeah.
product, you pay for it, drive it around, pay the guys to do it, complaints about it.
All right. Well, it's obviously not going to happen this year, so I'm just making a note. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it this winter. Axe garden and projects.
New England
Okay.
Green Man did nothing but lawn care and mosquito and tick, and they had 2,000 clients. And the reason why they never hit $1 million is because they were charging like $25 for mosquito spray and $45
Yeah,
for something they should have been charging $80 for. But
yeah,
had they charged what they should have, they would have been pulling in $2 million a year doing just lawn care.
yeah. But also, a lot of the reason that they had those clients is probably because they're so cheap. They're catering towards a certain clientele,
Well,
and they
they were
probably
paying the
never.
clients to show up every month. They were essentially paying the client, right? That's what it's
Yeah,
either the client pays you and you profit, or you pay them to show up. And they were paying people to go to their lawns every week and lose money.
Right. Yeah, but I'm saying that they probably would have lost. They might not have done 2 million because they would have hacked their client base because those people are obviously
True.
using
That's
them
what you're saying.
because all they had going for them is the price. Like, oh, this is the cheapest guy. So as soon as you're not the cheapest guy, then now you lost that client because they just want the cheapest guy.
Even if they had
Um,
1,000 clients, they'd be doing $1 million with 5
yeah.
guys fertilizing in one time.
We'll do like a mock budget and see what we could afford. It'd be a job in itself. We don't have that much project and gardening stuff. We'd have to get rid of some trucks. We'd have to get rid of some. We have to get rid of some trucks. We have to get rid of some equipment, which we're not. We haven't been very good about selling stuff as of now. But we'd have to get rid of that stuff to cut the overhead. But that would cut our insurance. It'd cut our H2B costs. There'd be a lot of stuff that was cut there.
I had suggested an auction, and I know that it usually pulls in the lowest price, but it would go quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I've looked into it before. I think auction companies take like 10%. But I mean, maybe the bigger things we should probably just sell, like a truck that's worth, 50 grand or something. We probably don't want to sell, probably want to auction that off and loot shit because they're bigger numbers. The smaller stuff would be good, you could auction off, but the bigger things probably better off selling. I mean, things do sell when you focus on it and you keep them up there. Things do sell, but I just feel like I don't even know, like, how come, like, no one, I haven't heard anything about it. Melissa's doing all the Facebook ads, right? Has anyone reached out about anything? Because I haven't heard anything about anything.
They have not. I see some messages come in, but they're is this available? Is this available? But she doesn't know. She doesn't know diddly squat about the equipment. And Noah was pretty aggressive as a Facebook marketer because he used to sell a lot of stuff personally, so he knew how to handle it and filter out all the nonsense.
Maybe like Jared could list something. But anyway, let's not spend time on that now. Let's just do the weekly stuff because that's a next year thing.
Okay.
So somehow, despite being 12 short on the margin, our total margin got closer. So we're 8.6, 8.7, 7.3. So we closed in on that somehow. And we're a little higher on the win rate. Probably could charge a little more. That's what it looks like.
Well, we need work for hours, man.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Anything on the waste log here? Routing issue. Cleaning the truck. How's that a delay? Shouldn't it just be dispatched?
I don't know. It's from the bonehead, man. Who knows? Cleaning the truck.
Yeah. Members to park had to ask guests to move cars. Okay, it sounds like a house or something. People were in the way or something. All right, so we have to go through. How much time do you have today?
I mean, I never have a lot of time, but we have, I think, until 11 blocked off. Then I have to go run and meet a guy.
Oops. Total hours. All right, current price should be. Give me a second.